Hi guys, thank you guys for coming back to talk with Allison. It's really exciting to have every single one of you back on this. I know it's been a minute, right? But here we are. Thank you all for your encouraging messages. Thank you all for your texts, your calls and everything. And those of you that trust me enough with your emotions, I really appreciate every single one of us. And also for your journey, I'm also congratulating you for how well you've actually become. Thank you all for your support. The love has been massive on Twitter, on my WhatsApp, and everywhere. So if you're watching this clip from my WhatsApp status, you can actually see a full version of this on my YouTube channel, Talk with Allison. The link is going to be under the description or on the next post, basically. If you're watching from TikTok, which is new, I think I'm just beginning to utilize my TikTok now. If you're watching from TikTok, also, the link is going to be available in my bio. You can actually visit it and see the full video of this on YouTube. As for those that are listening in from my podcast channel, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for everything, your love, your support. I really appreciate you guys. Today, we are going to be having a very interesting and amazing topic. It's called introspection, understanding self. This is a very critical part of our existence that most of us live our life day to day, morning, year to year, morning to night to morning, week to week, and we don't pay attention to this part, self. So today, I'm just going to bring you back one step so you could take out 5 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever amount of time this video is going to indulge you. Take out this time and practice this. Look back a bit at things that you have experienced, things that you have learned, things that have affected you. How have you reacted physically, emotionally to your experiences? What have you absorbed? What have you internalized? What have you accommodated from every experience you've had? Look at it. How well does this thing benefit me? How is it going to be in my long-term goal? Is it needed? Is it necessary? Is it going to limit me? Is it going to enhance me? Take out this time to think about this. It's going to be like a very interesting episode. I'm even excited myself because introspection is something that have helped me in getting to where I am right now. I'm not even going to lie. It's something that have actually helped me realize my full potential, even if I am yet to achieve or actually get to the point where I say, okay, I'm maximizing my full potential. But the awareness alone is something that is refreshing. I'm not even going to lie to you. So thank you for tuning into this. And this topic, I believe if you do have questions as regards to anything, you know where to reach me on Twitter at 7th Allison. Also, you can write to me, talkwithallisontoday@gmail.com. I'm preparing my website, guys. So I'm just really excited. Very soon it's going to be launching, so you can have easy access to me from wherever you are in the world. So diving straight up into our topic for today, for the episode, introspection, understanding self. Self, I'm going to bring self out. That is a word that does not have a fixed meaning. I'm going to come again. Self is a word that does not have a fixed meaning. Why do I say this? I say this because evolution is a thing. People evolve, people devolve. Change is constant. Humans are dynamic beings. If you think you know yourself 100%, I would like you to think back at times where things happened, you reacted to things, and you'd be like, is this me? Namiduam, all those things. You discover that every time you see a new version of yourself, that means at every point in time, something is happening as regards to changes in your body, mind, every area. So we're going to be dealing with that. We need to understand self. So what else are we going to look at today? Introspection. I like to put self first so we know the area we are going to be applying introspection. People apply introspection not to focus on self, and that is crazy. They apply introspection, which is supposed to be examination and observation of you personal, your mental processes, your emotional processes. But a lot of us practice these things with the aim of understanding someone else's emotional processes involved in our lives. So that is why I said I have to put self out there, understanding self, so we don't get it twisted, right? A lot of us go through relationships, and when we decide to have a flashback, when we decide to self-reflect, we gradually do the reflection as regards to the other person we were in the relationship with. Now, that's the point where I want us to fix. That is why we are coming with the approach of understanding self. Okay, what is introspection? We'll dive straight up into that. What is introspection? I said it before now. Introspection is an observation, examination of one's own mental and emotional processes. I'll break it down a little bit more. Introspection is you taking a time out, one step backwards, observing, processing, examining everything as regards to your emotions, your experiences, your thoughts, everything. What are the changes? What are the things that the experiences you've had has made you become? That is a very simple term. That is like the simplest term. Cutting out time to look inwards. So that is why I said I'm going to have this episode to help us cut off a few things that we've been doing wrongly as regards to practicing introspection. So, like we've said, we've understood what introspection is, examining yourself mentally and emotionally. Why is it important for us to have this practice from time to time? It is important because for every relationship, for every experience, for everybody you relate with, it might not really be intimate, it might not be really romantic, friendship relationship, parent-child relationship, your workplace relationship, employer-employee relationship. There are things that we absorb. As humans, we absorb things relating with other people. I've had people that are securely attached. I mean, now I'm going into attachment style, but that's going to be passive. Just flow with me. People that are securely attached change to become avoidant attached people, or avoidantly attached people, because they're related with people that are, yes, avoidantly attached as well. So as little as it might be, 0.0000219, whatever, there is a change in percentage, no matter how small it is. It takes a while to become more prominent and visible. That is why I do tell people to take their introspective time important. I've seen people that become narcissists because they dealt with narcissists, or their bosses were narcissists as well. Yeah, it happens. I've seen people suffer from existential emotions. I've seen people absorb other people's emotions. People suffer from depression because other people were depressed, or they were involved with people that were depressed. People suffer from trauma by listening to people that were describing their traumatic events or experiences. These things happen. So that is why we have to pay close attention to ourselves from time to time. We do this, right? But most of us have turned it to overthinking. We'll get to that point, but we get it wrong a lot. We decide to have a flashback and reflect on our lives, and before we know, we fall out of it and we start thinking about other people's life in our life. It's a bit tricky how the mind can be. So I'm going to be listing out a few things we are going to do as regards to a proper approach, right? That's the word, a proper approach towards practicing introspection. Now, first off, you need to understand why you are not practicing introspection before you can actually know why you should practice introspection. Excuse me. As we understand what introspection is, most people see it as a point where they have to reconnect with their past. For whatsoever reason, a lot of us don't want to go back to our past. We don't want to reconnect with it. Whether it's thinking, whether it's remembering, whether it's memory lane or whatsoever, we do not want to go back to that. That's one very, very obvious reasons why most people don't practice introspection. And that has led a lot of us to living in denial. It has gone, it's past. I mean, But deep down inside of us, we reflect these things unconsciously in the way we react to the new environment or the modern time or the present time. People go through relationships, they're heartbroken, and they're like, I'm not going to love again. But then they are at the point, okay, fine, let me give love a chance. But they do not want to pay attention to why love didn't work before to them, because it's traumatic. In fact, it's crazy. So even when they are trying to, experience love, they're having a reflection, or they're responding to that other event that happened before that they denied themselves of paying attention to it. So this is one good reason why a lot of people don't like practicing introspection. It is scary to them because they are going to be faced with their past. People experience very triggering events in the past, and it's unsettled, unhealed, and they do not even want to know why. It's understandable. In as much as it's valid, it's not really the right thing to do. At every point in our existence, we need to consciously, I'm going to say that again, we need to consciously pay attention to the persons we are becoming. Now, there are lots of things we don't even know about ourselves. It's news. Is it news? I'm not even sure it's news to us that many people don't even know themselves. If I should ask us a question, or I throw a question at you, who are you? People start up with saying, I'm Alison John, I'm this, I'm that, I'm a tech this, no. Those are things associated with you. Those are not. That is not who you are. Your name is not even who you are. So if you can take 3 minutes and ask yourself, who am I? You see that you leave yourself with a blank space for like 5 seconds, first off, to see that, I really don't even know who I am, right? So how we move our day-to-day lives without basically knowing who we are will forever be a thing that is going to keep so many people in a crazy loop. Yes, you need to know who you are, you need to know who you were for you to know who you want to be. You might actually know who you want to be, but if you don't know who you are right now or who you were before, how do you navigate towards being who you want to be? This is why at every point in our lives, we have to take a time out, one step backwards, look back at things that we have absorbed, things we have experienced, prune yourself. If you have not wanted to look back at things that has happened before to us, make it difficult for us to self-reflect. But it's not going to kill you. See the gain from the pain. This is going to sound like me being motivational. No, let's be practical. There's a pain with thinking back or reflecting to the past. That is valid. But you have to look beyond that and see the gain rather. What do you stand to gain looking back at that? When you put your focus basically on what you stand to gain looking back at the past, which might be painful, you gradually see through the pain. It might be blurry at first to you, but it begins to make sense. Let me give us a very practical instance. I used to be very scared of failure. In fact, everybody should be afraid of failing. It kept me in a very toxic loop of what's the word now? Perfectionism. I wanted to be so perfect because I don't want to fail. But then, even before I got into becoming that, I was not even approaching these things. I was too scared to approach them. Until I decided to look, okay, fine, there's a fear of failure, which is valid. But what do I stand to gain approaching that fear? I stand to gain putting that as a landmark to starting the journey. Whatever comes after that, yes, we are going to cross it. But I needed to, first of all, understand that I have something to gain facing this pain. So yes, we have to get to that point. We have to sit back. For every day I go to work and I come back, maybe I have to get to my workshop or I have sessions with clients. When I come back at the end of the day, I sit back, I think through my day. What is it that I have experienced that I don't want to experience again? Excuse me. Why did I experience those things? how can I not experience those things? Was it my fault? Was it not my fault? These things are things that I do. This is a very practical example. Come back from work, 6 p.m., take a time out, 5 minutes, just five, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Think through your day. Consciously pick up those things that you don't want to believe in. Oh, I heard today that so and so celebrity cheated on so and so celebrity. In your subconscious, it's registered. Your nervous system has picked up that information, it has stored it, as beautiful as the brain is, and one day it's going to reflect it back in another scenario that might look like what you read or what you saw or experienced, and it gradually becomes a thing in you, in your life, in your mind, everywhere. So you have to gradually come back and pick up those things that you do not want to be in your life. You have to see, okay, this thing, I did this today, I want to get better with this tomorrow, so I'm going to do like this tomorrow. I'm not going to do this again next time. This is a very conscious effort to getting better. We're all talking about self-development, self-growth, becoming a better version of yourself. But you have to understand yourself first before you can become a better version of yourself. That is why I am cutting this time out to, advise us to practice this. Now, for those of us that actually are very active people in practicing introspection, but we're not really good at it. There are things you are bound to suffer if you do it wrongly. I mean, it's the human mind. We basically cannot stop thinking of some things sometimes. So I'm going to dive into the don'ts of introspection.